Howdy. Today we will be taking a look at FansToys Goose. And you know, the more I look at this figure, the more I think it kinda looks like Skydive from Transformers Generation 1. But that's probably just a coincidence. This figure comes with 2 blasters and 1 alternate face sculpt. In his robot mode, Goose looks absolutely incredible. The entire figure, except for the hands, is covered in this amazing metallic silver, black, and red paint, with some translucent red accents, which I think looks really nice. Unfortunately, this figure has a couple issues. The backpack, number 1, doesn't look nearly as good as his counterparts. It definitely looks like they folded up a jet and put it on his back. Not as seamless, I would say. Also, the articulation on this figure is still not good. The figure doesn't have very good articulation in the ankles. They don't rock forward and back very far, which doesn't allow him to get terribly dynamic poses. The arms hardly bend to 90 degrees, and the waist can only be swiveled 360 degrees in one direction. This is because of one panel that they use in the transformation that effectively locks the torso and the waist together. If you do want to rotate it, you have to open that panel and rotate it all the way around to the other side if you want to swivel his waist in the opposite direction. It's very inconvenient, and I don't think the articulation on this figure is very good. However, as far as it looks incredible. Again, the paint is amazing, and the sculpted detail is wonderful. It draws a nice line between this kind of cartoony aesthetic and this fairly realistic look, and I think it looks pretty good. Here's how FansToys Goose scales with Deluxe Class Deep Cover, Voyager Class Sweep, and Leader Class Grimlock. Here's how FansToys Goose scales with FansToys Warthog, FansToys Phantasm, and Magic Square Light of Peace. In his vehicle mode, FansToys Goose is a General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon. In his vehicle mode, I think FansToys Goose looks even better than his robot mode. This vehicle mode looks absolutely amazing with all the sculpted panel detail. Once again, the paint shines through, now adding a beautiful metallic blue paint with a glossy yellow flat accent paint. I think it looks really good. There's also a part where the waist can kind of be squeezed with your fingers, and it makes for a perfect handhold on an amazingly whooshable jet. It's extremely satisfying to hold, and it's super fun to just fly around. The wheels are fine. They are so small, so they don't really work that much, but I admire the fact that they bothered to put wheels on this figure. Here's how FansToys Goose scales with Deluxe Class Deep Cover, Voyager Class Artfire, and Leader Class Laser Optimus Prime. Here's how FansToys Goose scales with FansToys Phantasm and FansToys Warthog. I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at FansToys Goose. If there are any other figures you'd like me to take a look at next, leave a comment down below. And as always, I'm Leo, reminding you that plastic toys don't belong in plastic prisons. See you next time. Here's how FansToys Phantasm scales with